Hi, welcome back to Bahasa Inggris 1 or Bahasa Inggris untuk bisnis, ya. English for business or business English. So we're now on the third week, and this week we will talk about writing business email. However, because it's a very short video, please make sure that you read the e-learning platform. You do all instructions step by steps, including the group discussion and group presentation, so that I can assess you and I can um, make sure that you understand about the topic that we cover this week. Okay, so let's start with my slides. Everyone knows that now emails are one of the most common ways people communicate at work. So now, besides email, people start to use various types of messengers like Microsoft Teams. Previously, we used Skypes, yeah, but now I think less people use Skypes because now we have Microsoft Teams, or even using Zooms. Sometimes, even not just sometimes, yeah, in Indonesia especially, many office use WhatsApp as the way to communicate with their colleague to talk about work. But still, email is considered as the standard for communicating at work because email is reliable, yeah, and it's easier to track or to trace. One thing that we should understand is that emails to friends or family, the tone, the language that we use can be informal. However, at work, the email should be more formal, even with our colleagues. Yes, we can be communicative by make it not so formal, make it like semi-formal. Yeah. However, you make sure to understand. Yeah, you make sure that you use more formal language, not the language that you use in the text messages. Hence, you should avoid using text abbreviations. Remember, basically, email is similar to letter, which means don't use abbreviations a lot. Yeah, because abbreviations will show as if you're not really professional. Next, you have to make sure that you have work-related email address, and it should be different from your personal email address. Why? Because if you mix up between the personal email and the professional email, usually you will miss a lot. Yeah. For example, you forget to check when you check your personal email, and then you skip the email that is for work because you have a lot of email, maybe from your social media there, from your marketplace, and so on. So make sure for work related, you have to use a professional email address. Use only one address for work related and don't mix it up with your personal email. And when you choose a professional email address, what you have to do is to avoid using the address that don't look professional. Yeah, just like the 3 examples that I give you here. Putting your hobbies there, your favorite rock band, your favorite movie, or maybe your favorite K-pop singer, yeah, that will be inappropriate. Furthermore, yeah, besides it's being inappropriate, having such kind of address when you send it to your colleagues or maybe your client or anyone that you need to send the email to, it usually goes right away to the spam folder. So they might not get your email, they might not receive your email because it's sent to their spam folder directly. That's why always use professional email address. So how a professional email address should look like? This is the example. You can use your first name and your last name, like this one, yeah? And make sure that you separate your first name and your last name. Maybe you can use dot like that, andrew.white@gmail.com, or maybe you can use underscore, so that everyone can find you easily. Yeah, for example, you're sending an email to your client, so your client can look up your name directly and they can find your email easily compared to using the emails like this. Okay, next, the last thing that I will share to you is the basic of email etiquettes. Remember, yeah, to maintain your etiquette when you're making email, because email is communication, and when it's work related, it means you represent your office. The way you communicate will be seen as the way your office communicate. So make sure that your communication is appropriate. First, to be appropriate, use clear and professional subject. For example, your subject can be meeting, end of month meeting, 25 October 2022. Concise, easy to understand, and when people read it, when the receiver read your subject, they will know what the email should be about. So make sure it's clear and professional. Next, when you have attachment, just make sure you upload your attachment first before you write your email. Why? It's just in case when you forget to attach the attachment, to attach the document, while the document is quite important, you forgot to attach it, and then you just send the email without the attachment. That will look very unprofessional and unprepared. So make sure if you need attachments, add your attachment before you write the email. The third etiquette is that you have to write your email before entering the recipient's email address. Just like the second point, this point is basically a precaution. Just to make sure you don't accidentally send the email before you finish writing or before you finish proofreading your email. Okay, so make sure you write your recipient's email address the last. The next etiquette is to use appropriate tone and language. Okay, I will not talk further about this because it will be covered in our module and it will be covered in your discussion. Yeah, how to use appropriate tone and language, appropriate level of formality in your email. The next etiquette is to just get to the point and be brief in your email. Okay, just be brief. What you want to say about in your email, what's the purpose of your email? Remember, just like any other written communication, what you should put in mind is that who the writing is supposed to be sent to, who is the person that will read your email, and what is the purpose of your email? Make sure that you address these two things in your email. And it should be clear. It should be to the point, yeah, and it should be brief. The next etiquette is to use appropriate signature. Remember, it's a professional email. You represent your work, you represent your job, you represent your office. So you have to make sure that you use your office signature. Yep, you can consult to the HR what your signature should look like. Basically, you will have your full name and your position in the office, and maybe your contact, your phone number, for example. Okay, and always use email signature whenever you send your email for work related, because you want to look as professional as possible. The next one, before you send your email, make sure that you always proofread for any errors, either grammatical errors, errors in writing, and make sure that you convey the message that you want to tell to the person you send the email to. And then check and recheck the address. Make sure that you spell the address correctly so that it will be sent to the right person. And finally, use CC and BCC appropriately. Yeah. Again, this one, just like the appropriate tone and language, I will not talk further about this because you will cover it, yeah, in your discussion. So those are the basics of email etiquette. So all in all, business writing or email writing is very important for nowadays business communication. So you have to make sure that you understand how to send a professional email, and you have to make sure that you understand how to use appropriate language and appropriate tone so that your email will look professional. Thank you for your attention. See you next week. Bye-bye.